Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Atiksha, your resident bibliophile and recently a published author of the book Whispers of Womanhood. Today I will be reviewing Majors of Fluency by Sonia Nkera. Let's dive into it. This is the map associated with this book, and this is the Ruin City, the area where the story takes place. Let's talk about some of the details of this book. The title, as mentioned before, is Majors of Fluency by Sonia Nkera. This is a YA romantasy. It is 400 pages long. The point of view is third person. We have seven people whose point of view we see in this novel: Kjersi, Ishikar, Cesar, Mika, Senna, Aslan, and Aventus. I am pretty sure I butchered every name here. Sorry. This is part of a series and it does not end on a happily ever after. This is an ongoing duology, and the second book should be out soon. This is available on Kindle Unlimited. It is also available as an ebook for purchase and as paperback. The content warnings here are death, kidnapping, slavery, drugging, and all of the other fun fantasy elements. Let's talk a little bit about the book and the author first. Sonia is an author who was born and raised in Uganda. Everyone who knows her describes her as a bookworm. When she's not reading books, she's talking about them or writing them. Raised by a father who was a literature teacher, she got to do a lot of that in her formative years. She is also a telecommunications engineering graduate who is passionate about art and photography. The book summary: Ravaged by gangs and caravan raids from the hidden northern province, survival is a luxury and hope is a liability. Ruin City, the middle province whose real name remains forgotten. Kjersi, forced to survive as a gang runner, has formed unlikely alliances along the way. An outcast of northern heritage, a southern chambermaid with a secret, a gang princess who is kept locked away. When she witnesses her brother's murder at the hands of a northern mage, she is determined to seek revenge. But that night sparks off a chain of events that entangles them all in a web of secrets and a game of life and death. They must survive, faced by threats of northern caravan raids and the myth of the Karza, the enigmatic leader of the biggest gang, the Saints. As Kjersi uncovers the truth, she learns of the gang's deception. On her own, she is forced to tap into her strength to survive, brought face to face with the mystery of her heritage. Now, on to the characters. As mentioned previously, we have seven point of view characters, out of which six would be considered the main characters. The first one is, of course, Kjersi. She's a gang runner and she has watched her brother's murder. She has a secret heritage that no one knows about, or at least she doesn't know about. Some people might know about it. She is on her quest to avenge her brother and find out whatever is happening. The second person is Cesar. He's also a gang runner and he is Kjersi's partner in the gang related activities. He has some northern heritage, which makes him an outcast in the ruined city, and which also creates a little bit of a secret around his heritage and around his powers. The third person we have is Senna. Senna is the gang princess for the gang that Cesar and Kjersi work for. She is Kjersi's friend. She is someone who is locked up and abused by her father. The fourth person we have is Mika. Mika is Senna's chambermaid. She's a southerner and she has a secret that no one knows about. She's also Sena's and Khyasi's friend. The last two people are Ishikar and Aslan. They are twins. They are mysterious leaders of the Saints gang, who is the rival of the gang that Khyasi and Sazar work for. Now, on to the supporting characters. The first person is the last point of view character we have, Aventus. He is the face of the Saints gang. He is Ishikar and Aslan's uncle who raised them after some happenings that took place a while back. He's still dealing with the loss of his family. We only get one chapter from his point of view, which is extremely important. And the next supporting character is Shelo. Shelo is Ishikar and Aslan's little brother. He is extremely powerful. He was still a toddler when everything went through, when all three of them lost their parents. And he is completely tactless. The themes in this book are rivalry, power, magic, secrets, and taboos. The symbolism contains magic, autonomy, and home, especially home. Some people are trying to go back to their homes, some people are trying to find their homes, and for some, home is the prison. As for the tone of this book, it is at times dark, comedic, and a lot of secretive. As for the pacing, the book is extremely fast paced. A lot is happening at the same time. Sometimes that makes it seem like a lot of time has passed when we get back to this to a particular character's point of view, but it has not. Now on to the review of this book. It starts off extremely strong, like really, really strong. As much as I love reading fantasy books, it takes me a while to get into a new series because of the world building stuff that happens in the first half of this first book of the series. But here, a lot of the world building stuff was actually a little secretive for the characters themselves. So we find those things out with the characters, which means that the plot is going on while the world is coming across as it is. We either get the world building stuff while the characters are finding out a lot of stuff, or we get it through flashbacks, which again moves the plot forward. When I first started reading this book, it felt like the seven point of views would be a little too much to keep track of, but it does not, because we do not get into any character's point of view without that character already being established. The first chapter is through Cassie's point of view, and we pretty much establish Cesar, who is the second point of view character that we get. And after that, Mika is the only person whose character was not very well established, although she was introduced, but it was not very well established. But that is again purposeful because of the secretive way that her character is. Who should read this? Anyone who loves intriguing high fantasy with high stakes and slow developing romances with people who could use a lesson or two intact. The little romance that we get in this book is absolutely swoon worthy. As far as comp titles are concerned, I would say maybe The Trial of Sun Queen by Nisha J. Tully, although the plot lines are very different, but the pacing and the kind of background is similar, little bit, not much though. But if you have loved that book, you will love this one. And now on to my favorite quotes of this book. You know what's worse than hopelessness, Kharsi? Desperation. After all the people who had tried to take him out on the street, he had finally succumbed because a girl had asked him to chew on some herbs. She had asked him to bite, and like an utter fool, he had bitten. You poisoned 30 of my soldiers. I want to know what more a waif like you can do. I did not kill them. Your flaw. Why are you here? Shouldn't you be down with my father? He's not the one I'm marrying. I wanted to check on my bride first. Her eyes darted to the dress on the bed, and his gaze followed. She was surprised that her father had approved the color. I picked it out, he said, as if he could read her mind. She whipped around and looked up at him. She looked from his midnight black shirt to the dress on the bed. Because you only wear black? Because it is a sham wedding, Sana. Sham wedding? When we do marry, it will be because you want to. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming along on this journey with me. If you want to know anything about my debut book, uh, a poetry collection called Whispers of Womanhood, please feel free to check the description box. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.